Hey guys, Creator Mom. So I've been thinking about the placebo effect while I was reading Joe Dispenza's book, You Are the Placebo. But anyways, I had thought about this prior as well. Like, if everything is like the observer effect, or you can't really separate man. First of all, you can't separate man from God. Okay, it's just like, can you separate man from the observer effect? Like, no, like, we do these studies, but what about the people in the studies? Like, if the people in the study don't believe in the medicine, even if they are in the group that has the actual drug, can the trial fail because of the people's own beliefs? Even if they don't know if they're taking the drug or not, does that even matter? Things you think about at 7 a.m. Now, so yeah, and then I was thinking, well, I had this thought like months ago about how we can use point of contacts in our physical world in order to produce results that we want. Like people were doing all the time, like with silly things, like, oh, every time I drink this water, I lose weight or whatever. It's like they're using their physical world to give them a benefit. And so it's like it's like a playground. It's like you get to play with the physical world. Because I was thinking, does everything have to be solely spiritual, right? Because it's kind of like, where do you separate the spiritual world from the physical world? Like, where does it separate? And I don't think it separates. I think it's a mishmash. It's like a constant mishmash. It's like the infinity loop. I feel like the infinity loop is like the interaction between the spiritual and the physical, the spiritual, the physical. So it's just like we want to pinpoint, especially in science, or like we want to pinpoint, okay, what did this drug do? Da 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 da. But it's like we can't separate our belief systems from the physical world either, because our beliefs help create and manifest in the physical world. I mean, you could even go as far to say that everything is spiritual, even the physical world is spiritual. I don't know. So it's just like, I guess the point is maybe that there is no separation. Just like when people ask themselves, where does God in me start and where do I end? There is none. You're like an infinity loop. You're like a fucking infinity loop. Like, it's God in you, God in you, God in you. It's like all blended together. Weaving. It's like a weave. So, these are just some of my philosophical thoughts for the day. We can do what we want. We can create whatever meaning we want. That's why we can use the physical world in order to play around. Play around with our beliefs. Test things. Like, if we say this means that, so hence, I don't know, I'm just reading a lot of examples in this book too, where people, people get diagnoses and then they find out that maybe that person didn't really have that diagnosis. And I think that, but they died anyway because they believe the word of the Lord, the Lord and the doctor. They believe their word, right? And the word created. It's just, it's crazy. I think that these ideologies would have a lot of fun with the theories of German New Medicine, where he says that basically, like you have an experience, and that experience, maybe based on the meaning that you develop from that experience, creates a series of actions within your body, that maybe lead to like what they call cancer and shit like that. So I guess, the white coats, we hated when they said, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. We said, well, they're just saying that because they're not smart enough to figure out what's going on with people. Well, shit, it's almost like I don't blame them now, because everything is such a mixture of the physical and spiritual world. The world of, physical matter and the world of belief. Everything is such a intertwinement that I actually don't blame them at this point when they can't figure out what's wrong with people. Hey, is it anyone else's responsibility to try to figure out what's wrong with us anyways? Not really, right? Not really. That's why, these doctors in the medical system have so much fucking authority, because we gave them the authority, to try to figure out what's wrong with us. But, I don't know. Nothing to me is completely black and white, because then again, it's nice to reach out to people who have a little more wisdom than you to help you figure out what's going on with you. But it's good to ultimately keep in mind that we are the soul. We are solely responsible for our bodies, our minds, and our souls. And we're responsible for what we think and what we believe. And we're responsible for not being victims. We're responsible to step into our roles as creators. So, everything works together. Everything is like a divine intertwinement, in my opinion, at this point. So yeah, let's play.